Hi, it's Lucy here. Welcome back to my channel. So this video is one of my quick lessons, and what I want to do is tell you how you can crack the sugar code. And by that, so many things nowadays have hidden sugars in, and also sugar isn't just called sugar. And that's what I'm going to go through in this video with you, showing you how you can easily read labels and spot where that sugar is hiding. So it's estimated in the UK that in the last 2 years, consumption of sugar has gone up by a staggering 31%, and also on average we are consuming half a kilo of sugar per person weekly. So it is no wonder that we have such a big issue with things like obesity and disease nowadays. And the fact is that these sugars, they are hidden in our foods, and we're not aware that we are eating all these extra sugars. And that's why I wanted to create this really simple little video just telling you how you can, or how we can, crack that sugar code. So the person that's guilty of putting sugar everywhere is these manufacturers, and the reason they do it is purely about money, is because they want to sell more. They're not really that interested in your health, they're more interested in profits. And you know, sugar isn't just in sweet things. We are talking about tinned vegetables, which you might assume are healthy because you think you're having your vegetables. We're talking about things like meats as well. There's sugar in a lot of meats, which again you wouldn't associate. Years ago we would have never put sugar on our meat. And then the other thing is things like medicines and cough medicines. I mean, sugar is really everywhere, and what they get away with doing is calling it different names. So I'm going to show you a list now. We're going to go through all these names, and next time when you're out shopping and you're looking at your favourite food, just have a look, and if you can see a couple of these, then you know that sugar is hidden in there.
Okay, so these are the other names for sugar. We've got corn syrup, dextrin, dextrose, fructose, glucose, hydrogenated starch, lactose, maltose, and you know what? Those last three I can't even pronounce. But it's a really good idea just to familiarise yourself with this list and recognise that these are all sugars.
So here are my other tips on how you can cut down sugar. Okay, first of all, the thing is, always have an SOS emergency snack close to hand, and have it in the car. Also have them spare at work, in the desk, or even at home. I always like to just carry around some like dried apricots. I also love peaches, or even just a few little mixed nuts, just something like that. So that's going to stop you reaching for biscuits, cakes, chocolate, crisps, which, remember, all those things are high in sugar. They have no nutritional value, whereas instead, if we opt for those healthy snacks, not only are they going to make us feel fuller, but remember, they're going to be great for your skin, for your health, absolutely everything. So always be prepared and have that emergency SOS snack ready to hand. So my next tip is become your own personal chef and make your own lovely cereal. I think so many cereals that call themselves healthy cereals, actually when you start rummaging through all the ingredients, there are those hidden sugars like we were talking about earlier on, you know, and they're also really expensive. I mean, some of these mueslis can be £3 to £4, whereas actually if you do like I do, I just buy some oats, then I'll buy perhaps some pumpkin seeds, put a few dried apricots in it, and just make it yourself. It's so much cheaper. Just put it in a big Tupperware box, and it lasts for ages, and at least then you have the confidence, you know what you're eating. It's much cheaper, and you know there's no sugar in there. So definitely, if you can, make your own cereal. Next tip is really simple, but if you are someone that adds sugar to your tea, coffee, cereal, just try adding a little bit less and slowly weaning yourself off it, and you'll find just what a big difference that makes. And you know, coffees, teas, you know, if we're having 3 or 4 a day, and then you're having like a teaspoonful of sugar in each one, that really does add up. So you will notice a big difference if you start reducing that. So that's a really easy, quick way to cut back on your sugar. So my next tip is be careful with those cocktails and swap your margarita for a nice white wine spritzer, because that way at least you're not having all those extra calories, which, trust me, in things like cosmopolitans, margaritas, they are laden with sugar. So instead opt for a nice white wine spritzer and have sparkling mineral water, and also add in a couple of ice cubes on there, and that makes that a really healthy, low sugar alternative. My next tip is, if you're anything like me, I love chocolate. So the thought of giving up chocolate is a little bit unrealistic, and you know, we still need our little treats. After all, it is all about balance, but we can be smart the way we eat it. And what I do is I just have dark chocolate, which is really good. And then a really good tip, I'm just going to show you in a second, some of these rice cakes that I make. They're really easy to do. All I do is just buy plain rice cakes, then get some dark chocolate, and just like one square of dark chocolate, I just melt it and then just spread it onto the top of a couple of rice cakes. You can put any toppings, sunflower seeds, dried cherries, raspberries, strawberries, whatever, and then you're still getting your chocolate, and it's a bit like having a biscuit, but it's a nice, really healthy treat. So, you know, just be sensible, and it's like everything. If you make it yourself, then at least you know what ingredients you've got going in there, so we can still have our chocolate. So there you are, that's how you can crack the sugar code, and how we can become smarter than those manufacturers, and we can hunt down where that extra sugar is hiding. And something that I would recommend, which might be quite good for you to do now, is just go into the kitchen and perhaps find a couple of your favourite brands that you think are healthy, and they might actually be healthy and there may be no sugar in them, but be interesting. Just have a look at the list of the ingredients and press pause on the end of the video here, where again I'm going to have that list, and just see if you can find any in that label. And if you can, let me know in the comments box below.